Good morning, good morning. Got a few moments this morning. I figured I'd give folks an opportunity to get tuned in. Um, Before I get started, it's Tuesday. Yes, it is. Baton Rouge traffic. You know how that is. On my way to a meeting this morning, and I just wanted to take a few moments and share a little bit with the people. Really want to say let's keep the discussion going. So let's go ahead and get started. Yesterday I posted a message regarding, or this morning, I reposted an article that I came across this morning talking about suicide and values. Yesterday I attended and spoke at an informational dealing with the suicide rate that has increased in Baton Rouge on last year, a tremendous spike on last year among young African American males. So this morning just wanted to take a moment and I was perusing through the feed from it on yesterday, and someone said, hey, so what now? What's next after that discussion? So I said, hey, one, we definitely want to keep the discussion going. So in the discussion of suicide, suicide is the end all to many people. And I posted a quote from the article that really jumped out at me, and in which it stated, when you know what a person is thinking, then you'll understand their reasoning. If you know what a person is thinking, then you'll understand their reasoning. Well, you can't know what they're thinking if you never talk to them. You can't know why they're doing what they're doing if you never have that conversation with them. If you never take the time to talk with them, to share with them what is going on and why they are responding the way that they are. So it starts with a dialogue. So this morning I just wanted to give you a couple quick tips on that people can use for everyday use. So number one, look, observe, and approach. You know, you have to look out for one another. You know, when you look and you see something out of the norm, and we're talking about for your friends. You know, when you see something out of the norm, you see something that people, they're just not acting like they would normally act. You know, if they're normally over enthusiastic and all over the place, jumping here and there, and then all of a sudden, they don't have no energy to do anything. They don't want to go anywhere. These are telltale signs. If they're not a drinker and then all of a sudden they become a drinker, they're not one that they're normally very responsible with money, then all of a sudden they become a gambler. They start saying things like, I just don't know how to keep going, and I think this life would be better without me. You know, you can't ignore the signs. 81% of those that commit suicide, when they interview those close to them, 81% of them have shared with somebody what their intent was and how they were going to do it. But those people that they told ignored it. Oh, they're not serious. They're not really going to do that. You know, one of the things that we were taught in the many trainings that I've had over the years has been to take every threat seriously. When someone tells you something, believe them, because they're really telling you their inner thoughts. And many times, you know, we are emotionally not trained properly, in which we're not taught how to express our emotions, how to share what's going on in our mind, and how to express to other people really what our thought pattern is. So because we're not taught how to express those things, in turn, what we do is, you know, that's why people commit domestic violence because they don't know how to express those thoughts that are in their mind. This is why in a large way, because, in some cases, it's a learned behavior. They are around someone else who wasn't taught that, especially for men, because we learn by assimilation. We learn by watching what other people do. So because that's how we learn, it also in some cases means that's how we figured out how we show love. If I always saw my parents fighting, then I would feel, I see them fighting, then making up. Then when I get older and I get in a relationship, I see it as, well, we should fight, then we make up. So I pick fights just to pick a fight so we can make up. Why? Because that's how I was taught how relationships are supposed to go. That's how they're supposed to look like. So it's important to understand, to take the time, not to just judge people by what they do, but take a moment to say, hey, let's look at why this person is acting like this. What are they thinking? What's on their mind? And I know, although it's awkward to go up to somebody and say, hey, what you thinking? But there are ways that you can say, hey, what's on your mind today? What's going on? How's life? How's your life for you? There was a quote I shared on yesterday. I'll repeat again this morning. And it says, people that commit suicide don't want to die. They just don't know how to live. They don't know how to live. Meaning they run out of options on what to do, which way to turn. This is why, for one, I'm such a proponent for reading. Because reading gives you other options. It exposes you to other things. So, to increase who you are and to increase the way that you should go about doing things, that's what reading does. So, in many instances, reading, talking to others, they'll give you options that previously you probably wouldn't have had, or you probably wouldn't have known had you not would have had those conversations, talked to those people, been in those moments. So it's important to have those things. They're key. So getting back to look, approach. When you see something that's awkward, be willing to approach them. Just ask, hey, what's on your mind? What you thinking? How's life for you? And then be educated. It's important for you to know the signs. It's important for you to know, what to recognize. It's important for you to know, hey, this isn't just them being them. It's them. Sorry, I was trying to help somebody drive this morning. Amen. But it's important for you to know the signs that are out there. It's important for you to know what it is exactly that a person is getting, what they're facing, what they're dealing with. And to know enough to be able to say, hey, this is when I need to refer them to somebody. This is when, knowing somebody that they can talk to, that they can go to. Many times people feel an awkwardness about therapists. There's this huge stigma about therapists, and that's the reason why they won't come sit on our couch, because they feel, oh, my parents didn't need nobody to talk to, and they came out fine, or, that means I'm crazy. No, it doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you're smart enough to know you don't have all the answers. It means you're wise enough to recognize that there are things that you still need to work on and things that you still need to do. So keep these things in mind. To have the education. Be honest. When you talk to them, listen. Don't be so quick to judge and to respond. Be non-judgmental. Like, we have this open line of communication where you can share with me things. A lot of times people don't share because they're afraid of what the other person is going to think about them or what the other person is going to say to their situation. You know, they're quick to say, well, I don't understand what that struggle is for you. That ain't no real struggle. Well, how you know? See, what classifies as a struggle for me may not classify as a struggle for you. So whatever classifies as a struggle for them is still a struggle. So you can't take it lightly. Okay, that's a struggle for you in that instance. Got it. So now I know I need to help you where you are. Now that you share with me what you're thinking, now I know how to best help you. Now I can understand your reasoning and why your actions are the way that they are. But you can't know that if you don't take the time to listen to them, to go to them, to reach out to them, and to be non-judgmental when you're listening. You're listening for key things, you know. And then, you know, be relatable with them. A lot of times people walk around with these masks on, like I don't have no problems. You ask somebody how they doing, their answer is always, I'm good. I'm okay. You know, but what is really going on with you? What's really on your mind? Do you really have these thoughts? And, you know, do you really need somebody? See, you really got to look past all of that. But you have to be open enough to say, you know what? I got days that I don't feel like it. I got days that I struggle. I got days that I'm not, you know, my 100%. But these are the things that I do to help me get back on track. Because the things that help you can turn around and also help others. So you got to be willing to do those things. So if you're here and you know, you're listening to this morning, and you know somebody or you are that somebody, I would encourage you to seek professional help. Inbox me. If you want referral, if you'd like to come, just have a conversation. I'm more than willing and open to do so because, folks, suicide is a serious thing, and there's no coming back from that decision, from that choice. But you know, in suicide, folks, 100% of them lost hope. But before you can get to a total loss, you'll also get to losing hope. So the key is to catch them before they get to the point where they figure they have no other options. They have no other choices. It's to talk to them at that point, to have a conversation with them at that point, when things are seeming to be going downhill and they feel that they're out of options. No, you're never out of options. Let me give you some reasons to live, instead of having these reasons where you feel that you don't have to live. No, there's always reasons to live and reasons to keep going. You know, we have to be willing to have this conversation to you know. And so I challenge you, those that are watching this video, maybe presently or even later, you know, it's like being a victim of, you know, if you've ever fell victim to or at risk of something, and they will tell you, for instance, heat exhaustion. You know, they tell you are ever had a heat stroke. If you've ever experienced it once, you are forever prone to it. That means you could have to go through it again. You could have to face it again. You're more liable to it. Well, if you've ever thought about suicide or attempted suicide, it is forever something now that's in the back of your mind. You know, you are 4 times more likely to meet someone who has attempted suicide or contemplated suicide. 4 times more likely to meet somebody who has contemplated suicide than somebody that has had a cardiac arrest or had a heart attack. You're 26 times more likely to meet somebody who's attempted it. 26 more times. So that means we all know somebody who's contemplated it. or even attempted it. So it begs the question, have you checked on your friends lately? I love the way someone said yesterday, check on your strong friends. Check on your friends that you think don't ever have no problems. Check on them people that, they always seem to be on the up and up. Check on them, because you never know what they're dealing with, what they're going through. They're always the one just going and doing and going and doing. Folks, suicide is a real thing. I encourage you to go on my page, read the article that I shared this morning by the Beck Institute, talking about suicide and how important the values of a person is dealing with that. And I also encourage you to, yesterday we did a broadcast, Channel 9 did an article, I think it was shared on my page. They did a story from the discussion that we had on yesterday. And stay tuned, because the full viewing of it, the full recording will be made available, and I'll make sure I share that on my page once it becomes available. But folks, suicide is real. Check on your friends. I know normally I come on and, I'm always, I'm motivated, excited. I'm motivated about this morning, because suicide is 100% preventable. 100%. Because if we start checking on each other, checking on our friends, paying attention to the signs, when we see something off, ask. Don't be so quick to pass judgment, to just say, oh, you'll be all right. Stop telling them just suck it up and keep going. Actually listen. And then say, hey, okay, I'm in this with you. Lastly, I want to tell you, just re-encourage them. Hey, you can do this. We can find a way. You can make it. You got this. Let's talk about other options. Let me help you find some different things that we can do. Let me refer you to somebody or suggest you to somebody. Because, folks, we don't need to lose nobody else, because it affects not just the immediate family, but everybody that knows them. And one of the sociologists that spoke on yesterday, he said it was a gravitational pull that suicide has. That when they find out that somebody died of suicide because they felt they had no hope, then others that are close to them, they start contemplating it, because they were like, if they felt they ain't had no hope, what hope do I have? That means check on not just those, but check on the friends and the relatives of those who recently lost somebody. Folks, grief is real. Folks die from it all the time. So that's my morning talk this morning. Hope you got something out of it. Like it, share it. Share it with somebody. Share this with somebody. We're going to have an awesome Tuesday. I hope you have an awesome Tuesday. I look forward to reading your comments, seeing your excerpts. Share this. Let somebody know, hey, Dr. Blunt talked about something serious this morning. Let your young people know. Let your kids know about suicide, because it's an alarming rate. We have to take this seriously, because what you don't take seriously, you'll wish you had later. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.